This program is on governance and sustainability, organized by these executive minds in partnership with the University of Oxford Smith School of Enterprise and the Environment.
I think discussion on the news media, on journalism, is very important in any discussion about government, about development, about society. And the reason is that increasingly we're surrounded by media of all kinds, not just the mainstream media like newspapers, television, radio and so on, but by media that people produce themselves on the internet. And that means a new kind of media, a new kind of journalism, citizens journalism, which is done by millions and millions of people and is changing the trade of journalism quite fundamentally. And I think that's particularly true and important for developing countries, because it's happening there too, as it's happening in developed countries. And it's allowing people to have a voice who didn't have a voice before. You no longer have to have lots of money to own a newspaper. You have a voice on your mobile phone, or on your computer screen, or on your iPad. And that gives, I think, more power, more of a voice to individual people. It's important, I think, to talk about these things because people, both people who run things, who are in universities, in companies, but ordinary people as well, are quite often alarmed about, worried about what's happening in their societies as far as the media goes, because new things are coming up. It's often uncontrolled. It can at times be alarming. And the whole notion of how free a media can be. Can media say anything? Should it be controlled? Who controls it? These are issues which are particularly important, and they're perhaps even more important in developing societies, which often have had a recent experience of authoritarian rule, or may still have at least vestiges of authoritarian rule. So the discussion here today with the delegates from Nigeria was one which engaged a number of people, some of them journalists themselves, others politicians and people from universities. And you could see in that discussion the various points of view and the concerns that people have. On the journalist side, more freedom. On the non-journalist side, very often more control. If there was an agreement, it is at least that journalists, if not controlled, should be responsible. And that takes training, and it also takes a certain kind of moral sense about what you're doing.